Hey everyone, Julian here, and today I'm going to be actually talking about something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking to you about what kind of computer you should use for music production. Now, I get a lot of questions about this, and it seems to be a pretty popular question on the internet. Like, what are the specs that you need, and what are the things that you need to be able to produce music, quickly and fluidly on a computer? So today, I'm going to be answering that by showing you a few different options. So the first one I have here is this. It's this Asus ZenBook. I found this on Amazon. It looks pretty solid. The thing about it is that it's got an i7 core processor as well as 16 gigabytes of RAM. And it actually has a solid state drive in there as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But this one's pretty high powered. Between the 16 gigabytes of RAM and the i7, it should be pretty solid. The i7 is 1.8 gigahertz, so that may or may not be, the best, but it would definitely carry you just fine. Now, you have a little bit of a benefit with this one, and a few of these other ones have this as well, but because it has an SSD on there. What SSD stands for is solid state drive. So this means essentially your hard drive, which is holding all your files, is going to be solid state. A hard drive is essentially like a little spinning disk that just keeps going over and over, and it's a lot easier for those to break. Whereas with a solid state drive, it's digital and it's just a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more reliable. It's also going to be a little bit faster, so that's good when you're running like plugins and samples and stuff. So this is the first option, and all of these are gonna be in the description. So yeah, so the next one here is this Razer Blade. This one may get a little bit of slack. I know some people have sort of mixed opinions about Razer, but I think it's a pretty solid laptop. It's got a quad core i7, so same thing as the last one, but it's got what's called quad core, meaning it's got 4 cores. Typically laptops have anywhere between like 1 and 4, I guess. But this one is quad, so it's gonna be pretty fast. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, and it's also got an SSD just like that last one. So this one's pretty solid. It's cool because it's got a touchscreen, so that could be kind of cool with Ableton. Maybe you could like tap in on the session view or something like that. But this one would definitely be more than fine for that as well. This next one here I have is a little bit different. I actually just kind of found this on here. Uh, I guess it's just some kind of different odd off-brand laptop. It looks pretty solid though. I mean, it's got a lot of good things. I think what this is meant to be is sort of like a sort of nicer version of like one of these kind of high-powered laptops because it's got all the same kind of specs. We've got an i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, an SSD, but this has this GeForce MX 150, which means essentially that's a graphics card. So like if you play games or if you want to do like video stuff, this will be good for you because it's got this nice graphics card in there, which will help to process graphics quickly and more powerfully. So then this next one I have here is a Dell. It's pretty cool because it's got this kind of thing. It's like you can sort of flip it over into a tablet. Could be kind of cool with Ableton and stuff. Now this one is pretty good. It's got a quad core just like that Razer, so pretty nice there. And it's got a 16 gigabyte RAM, all that kind of stuff. An SSD, and yeah, the thing I liked about this one is that it just kind of had like this cool thing where you can flip it over. So I figured that could be kind of useful for music production. And yeah, so then the last one I want to show you here is a little bit more affordable. It's kind of similar to the last one, but this is this Lenovo. And yeah, it's just a pretty solid laptop. Again, we got a quad core i7, so pretty solid there on the processor. This only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, but the RAM really doesn't matter as much as you would think it does, especially if you got a pretty fast, like a quad core processor. It should be pretty solid. This does have Thunderbolts on it, so that's a good benefit. And it has an SSD, and then obviously the screen flips over and stuff. That could be cool as well. But yeah, I wanted to include one more option on here that I thought would just be maybe a little bit more affordable. Obviously this isn't the cheapest laptop ever, but it's not expensive as some of these, as expensive as some of these other ones. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys a few different options for different laptops and computers you can use for music production, because I get this question quite a bit. So yeah, so make sure to let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. Thank you again, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow with another tutorial.